Oh, let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good.
But you fuck around with homeopathic remedies?
Fuck no.
I take whenever there's something going around.
Yeah.
I'm a big apple cider vinegar and oregano oil.
You're one of those.
Just to take a shot of it.
I get you.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's
I mean,
nothing
I'm
wrong with
not
that.
like, it's not like you're one of those. You're one of those.
Yeah, it helps. It helps me,
I mean,
whether it's a placebo or not.
I was going to say, it may just all be in your head, but maybe not.
Oh man. Hey guys. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we talk about how to keep yourself safe during the coronavirus by watching movies.
Yes. It's your new tagline.
Oh my god. This is great. I'm Jay Light, my guest today, the wonderful Elyssa Phillips.
Hi.
Hi Elyssa. This is crazy. This is my first episode recorded during a pandemic.
I'm your first quarantine
You're my first
guest.
quarantine guest.
I love it.
The last time I was here, Anthony, what was it, like February, I think?
Yeah, late Feb.
Yeah, late Feb. It was right after the Tyler Perry A Fall from Grace came out. That was the last episode we recorded here.
Wow.
And so it's been almost a full 2 months since then.
Wow.
And a lot has changed.
A lot has
crazy.
changed. But what we're just learning is that podcasting is considered an essential business.
Right.
So it is essential that we are here.
It is essential that we're here.
Yeah.
We are abiding by CDC guidelines and California state guidelines. Podcasting is an essential business. You guys called it yourselves. So what are we doing? We're socially distant.
We are socially distant.
Everything has been disinfected.
Yes.
And most importantly, we're keeping comedy alive.
Damn straight we are.
And by the way, Elyssa, for those of you who are not aware of her work, Elyssa is, I would say, I'm not even going to mince words here, the heart and soul of LA's wonderful Pack Theater.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Well, thank you.
LA's comedy scene owes a great deal to you.
Oh, that's like very generous. I'll take it. I mean, I'll take anything. I'll take anything at this point that doesn't give me corona. But
well, especially right now, the thing that I'm really excited about what is happening at the Pack is that there's a lot of stuff still going on with the Pack's sketch team, improv teams, various performers who are there. In a time when there's a lot of comedy that can't really happen.
Yeah.
Speaking as primarily a stand-up on my end, there's all these like stand-up shows that are popping up on live streams, and it just feels weird. Like, to me, I can't imagine doing
stand-up to no audience.
Stand-up to no audience.
Sure.
But my typical places where I perform, everything's shut down, and there's no way for people to go. You can post a clip or something, but you basically like sounded the alarm as soon as the Pack had to close physical doors.
Yes.
We're going to open the online doors. We're going to get shit going.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, it's partly to help keep like everyone in the comedy community sane, and I think it's important to like keep people working and creative and keep those juices flowing so they can, so everyone can stay happy and they don't get depressed and they don't get sad, and it just gives everyone like a little bit of like respite from what's going on, but it also gives audiences like a little bit of respite. We did on Friday we did King Lear from home. So we had 60 comedians come into one big Google Doc, and they each had 5 minutes apiece to rewrite King Lear, because when Shakespeare wrote King Lear, he was quarantined for the bubonic plague.
Right.
So we thought, since we're all quarantined, let's rewrite.
Might as well.
I mean, like, we deserve to rewrite King Lear. Why not?
Of course.
But it was great. And, for those 60 comedians, it gave them something to do and it made them happy. We raised money for the theater, which is really important right now because we need money to stay open. But it also gave like an audience something to take away their mind off of what's going on. And like, that's our job as comedians. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're here to do.
100%.
So, yeah.
And it's great, starting this week, I mean, this episode is going to come out tomorrow, on Monday. And starting this week, Pack has on their Twitch stream and Facebook Live. And is there somewhere else too? Am I forgetting somewhere?
It's primarily going to be on those two. We're figuring out all of the different avenues we can take one show and stream it to different social media outlets.
Yeah. So, but that's all going to be the Pack's various live streams will be streaming shows dreamed up and created by performers at the Pack Theater.
Yeah.
Every night of the week.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So it's gonna be great, and there's a big the Pack Telethon. It's gonna be Saturday.
Saturday from 6 to midnight, we're doing the Packathon, which will raise money to help keep the theater open, because when you're a theater that runs on donations from audiences that you are clearly no longer getting, and you run on classes that you had to cancel, we have no income. So in order to keep our doors open, we need to raise some money.
So raise some money. Go check out at Pack Theater on all of the various social platforms.
Yeah, sure. Or you can Venmo at Pack dash Theater. That one's got a dash.
That's got a dash in it.
Got a dash.
If you go Venmo at Pack Theater, it's not going to the right spot.
No, it's going to Miles
trickster got
Roberts.
in there. Miles.
Going to Miles Roberts. He's a very snarky comedian.
Very, very good photographer, too.
Very good photographer. Look him up.
Very funny, very snarky. All right. Now, this being a podcast where we talk about movies that you hate and why you hate them, I've been wanting to have you on for a bit, and you're crazy busy all the time.
I
So this
know.
is the perfect time to get you on, and when we both have nothing going on.
I have lots going on, by the way. I love how everyone's like home, like, I'm so bored. I have nothing to do. I'm like, really? Because I have a crap ton for you to do.
I've got videos to edit. I've got shit to write and plan for the week, but I'm with you.
Yes,
You know?
but this is great. And like I am glad that we can do this. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
And we have come on. You told me a movie that you hated, and I was torn because I've seen this movie once, and I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention. I was very high.
That makes sense for
It
this
was
movie.
very new after I moved to LA. And it starred I had just gotten hired at the Comedy Store, and it starred my boss, Pauly Shore.
Sure.
And I was like, well, I got to bone up on his works. So I watched this movie, Encino Man.
Encino Man.
And that was the last time I'd seen it. And then you brought it up, and I was like, well, I got to watch it again.
Yeah, there's no reason to watch it ever.
Yeah. There really isn't.
But
it's a total piece of cotton candy of a movie. It's just fluff, and it's very...
It's 1994 fluff, too.
Yeah. It's very of the times. Like
Very of the times.
It's very, very dated. You can sense it in the fashion, in the music choices,
In the verbiage, like in the way they speak, like, and even like when you look at it from like a geeky writing point of view, like the story structure and like some of the jokes.
Right.
Like, oh man.
Yeah, if you're watching it trying to analyze it critically, then it falls apart very fast.
Yeah.
All of the pacing's all over the place. There's scenes in there that are set pieces that go nowhere and don't do anything to actually advance the plot. It's just a chance for you to laugh at Brendan Fraser or Pauly Shore doing some wacky shit.
Yeah, I agree that like you do have to go into it kind of like letting all that go and being like, I'm just gonna have fun with this film because
Right.
that's what this is meant to be. Even then, I still don't like it. But I recognize.
What's your big beef with the movie? Like, if you had to boil down your thesis of why you hate Encino Man.
Oh my God.
Just a piece of pure stupid joy.
By the way, I want to say I think Brendan Fraser is great in it.
Yeah.
I think he's the only saving grace from it. I just don't think it's funny. I just don't think it's funny. And like when you're set out to be a comedy movie, you should be funny, and it's not funny.
It's true.
It's not funny. And like I laughed out loud. I chuckled maybe like twice, like little chuckles, like to like out loud. And that's not good for a comedy movie. Like I should be laughing. Like, you know, I should be laughing. But it's not funny.
I mean, I'll disagree with you on that.
That's okay. I can do it.
But it's okay. Well, that's the thing. We're not,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not here to convert you. I'm not trying to change your
Good.
mind on Encino Man. That's not the
That's
point
what
of this.
this is.
But I watched it again right before coming over here. And I was ready to be on your boat. I was like, so my expectations were low.
Sure.
And I watched it.
And you really liked it.
I wouldn't say I really liked it. I definitely enjoyed myself more. Like it's a thing I say often with movies that are just sort of like middle of the road, but not bad. It's a fun time at the movies. You know?
No. No. No, I'm I need you to elaborate on this.
enjoyable. It's just
No.
there's parts I couldn't help but watch it and smile at how dumb it was.
I get that, but that's not what the movie set out to do. Like the movie thinks it's funny. Like you know what I mean? Like the movie thinks it's good.
Here's what
It got like a 7% or a 14% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. It got something really bad.
this is my take.
Not that it matters, but
I mean, I think you're right. I think it kind of matters. My general take is that it's a stupid movie, right? I think we both agree on it being stupid.
sure.
But I think that it's stupid done well, which is hard to pull off.
See, I don't think it's stupid done well.
Okay.
Something like Dumb and Dumber is stupid done well. Something about Mary is stupid done well. Bill and Ted is stupid done well.
Bill and Ted is like the cream of the crop of stupid done well.
This is not done well. There's like a scene in the film where Sean Astin and Pauly Shore want to get Sean Astin's mother's attention, and they're like banging on the window and like, Mom, like we got come outside.
Quick, come outside.
Come outside. And literally I'm just like, go inside and get her. Like, why are you banging on the window? Like I don't
and then she shuts the blinds on
Yeah.
him.
I like it, and it's such like I get the joke of it and I get why I'm supposed to find that funny, but it's not funny. That's logically does not work.
I am very excited at how worked up you're getting about this movie.
I wish I wasn't. I love Sean Astin. Goonies is like one of my faves.
Really?
I love Goonies.
Oh, I think Goonies. I could take or leave Goonies.
Oh, no,
If I had to
man.
pick between Sean Astin movies, I would take Encino Man over Goonies any day of the week.
You and I can never get married. It would never work.
Here's what I would like to see. I've never seen the trailer for Encino Man.
Oh, yeah, I've never have either, actually.
So let's watch it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
this is very early 90s.
94.
92.
90.
92.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a 1992 movie.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Alyssa.
No, it's okay.
1992. It was known as California Man in Europe and New Zealand.
That I did read. I did read that.
Directed by Les Mayfield, starring Brendan Fraser, Sean Astin, and Pauly Shore. By the way, just before we get into the trailer, it says the plot revolves around two geeky teenagers. Pauly Shore and Sean Astin are not geeks in this movie.
I would agree. They're not geeks.
They're losers.
They're losers, but they're not. I would 100%. And the amount of times they refer to themselves as geeks and like people call them geeks. I'm like, you're not geeks.
Right.
You're not geeks.
That is my biggest problem with this movie, is they're labeling these characters as completely inaccurately.
I would agree.
But anyway, let's see what they do in the trailer, theatrical trailer for Encino Man.
I've never seen this.
Oh man, I don't watch a lot of trailers from the early 90s.
Well, sure. Why would you, Jay?
Recently, 2 high school students unearthed a prehistoric man
I
in their own
can't.
backyard.
You've got to be joking.
Their story is completely true.
Are you out of your mind?
Oh, this is great.
People went to see it based on this? Oh my God.
I love it. I love how 2001 they're going with this.
Oh my God. That is dumb funny.
You get a lot of it. Look at it. You get some Brendan Fraser butt.
Encino Man.
Oh my God.
Flame eggs.
Oh my God.
He is so greasy.
Is this the entire trailer? Oh, never mind. All right, now we're getting into some dancing. Yep.
Oh my
A
God.
little I'm Too Sexy. A little cleaning.
Wow, who's the guy with the dork squad? Is he fun or what?
This guy's our ticket to fame and popularity. All we gotta do is get him enrolled in school, and he'll help us become popular.
Dancing with
I love it.
the dance crew.
He's dope. I'd go out with him.
They're really just going over, obviously, all the plot points, but
Yeah. Classic. I mean, they're really laying out a lot of fun scenes in the trailer.
they are.
Oh, they're showing off.
What are you doing, Mrs. Stoney? We figure we's a little juice.
Oh, are they gonna show Wheezing the Juice?
Wheezing the juice. No, wheezing the juice.
Hollywood Pictures presents Encino Man. He's 1,000,000 years old
Milk does the body good, huh?
Great hair.
and living proof that evolution is not an exact science.
Classic.
Wheezing the juice.
Oh my God.
Buddy, you got him talking like you now.
thawing May 22nd.
At a theater near you.
Damn straight.
Alyssa, do you know how much money this movie made at theaters?
It made money?
Yes.
It didn't lose money?
No.
That's surprising.
It had a budget of $7 million.
Okay.
This movie made $40.7 million.
What does that say about the world we live in, guys? We deserve what's going on right now.
This is wild. Like,
That's insane. I would never have guessed that.
I would never have guessed that either. I knew that, Pauly Shore at the time was like, he was starting to become the guy, right?
Yeah, he was a big deal.
He was a big deal. He had MTV.
MTV, yeah.
This was the first of his movies being the Weasel. Oh, bruh, buddy.
Yeah, that's a pretty good impression.
Listen, when you work around Pauly Shore long enough, you develop a bit of an impression, bro.
I mean, it's pretty good.
But
It's a little disturbing.
It's here's the thing. So Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser are both doing exactly everything right in this movie.
I would agree.
I think Sean Astin he's showing up. He's not doing a ton.
No, but I also think some of that's like the writing. I don't think that's all him because he's a good actor.
He is a good actor. I love this is before Rudy, right?
Yeah.
Rudy's 93.
The cast, the ensemble are good people. Robin, is it Tunney or Tooney? I can never say her name. She's not on the Wikipedia page for some reason. She plays the best friend of the hot girl. But she was in like The Craft.
Yeah, and Rick Dukeman's in this.
Yeah, the guy who plays like the high school thug bad guy, like
Michael
the hot guy.
DeLuise.
He's Dom DeLuise's kid.
He's great.
He's great. The cast, the guy who plays Sean Astin's father.
Rose McGowan's in this?
Yeah. Oh, see, I don't remember that.
She's Nora. I don't remember which character Nora is.
Neither do I. But it's made up of good people. So to me, that means when I see that and then I see a movie like that, like execution, like
right?
The writing,
because the writing is the real. I would agree with you that the biggest problem with this movie is the writing.
Yes,
there's a lot of stuff in here that just feels. It's all. It just none of it is paced correctly. It's very dumb, which they're clearly trying to do. And there's some brilliant dumbness in this, for my money at least.
There's some moments that, yes, I get it. Like, even like, again, like I watched that trailer and the fact that they did that song with Brendan Fraser Rising, like that's smart dumb. I respect that.
Right.
But like, I just want to know why they thought this was a good idea.
I don't know. I want to know because this was written by a man named story and credit was going to both guys, George Zaloom and Sean Sheps, and then the script credit went to Sean solely.
Yeah.
He's
regretting that.
I think they're both regretting it because they don't have Wikipedia pages.
I know.
I would imagine for good reason.
I would agree.
And there's a lot of stuff in here that there are some funny moments. There's a lot of good, like montages. It's very classic. Early 90s teen high school nerds figuring out life kind of a movie.
Right.
But there's some stuff that really purely makes no sense. Like we were talking about this right before we started recording was the earthquake scene.
Oh my God, it makes no sense.
And I think we should watch it just for
to make me angry.
Posterity's sake, yes.
Yeah, and to make me angry.
You're real good. You're real fun when you're whipped into a froth about this movie. So
this is the only version I could find, by the way.
That's fine. We'll get on board with it.
Yeah.
Encino Man.
I can tell
Earthquake.
you, it's like one of the openings. Oh my God. Very bad acting on Sean Astin's part. Earthquake happens. Wait for it.
I hate those things.
Why? Where do you come from? I don't understand. I don't understand. Where do you? There's no bunk bed. There's no like someone above you. I don't understand. Where does that come from?
Did you have it
What?
on your fucking ceiling fan?
I don't understand what that is.
The clearest form of product placement to ever exist, by the way. Did
Yeah.
you see how perfectly the icy logo landed?
Amazing.
There's no need for it.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know.
And this movie is full of scenes like that.
So when you infuriate me in the first like 3 minutes, like it's only gonna go downhill. Like now you gotta work even harder to make me enjoy it because you just like ruined it. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it was so bad.
So let's go through the plot of this movie.
There's a plot.
There is a plot. It's very loosely strung together, but there is indeed a plot.
Can you also at one point look up, since I thought the movie came out in 94, so I looked up movies that were hits in 94.
Oh,
at one point, can we just look up what were the top movies of 1992?
Yeah, if you want to pull that up, we go through the plot of this.
Now I'm just curious, but continue.
All right, so this movie, it starts off in the Ice Age. Caveman Brendan Fraser is attempting to make fire with his girlfriend, but an earthquake causes a cave-in and buries the two of them.
By the way, when she comes back at the end, I'm like, what? None of that makes sense.
I mean, we expected to get Encino Woman, clearly. We knew there was going to be a sequel.
She magically ends up in the bathtub and like knows how to take a bath.
Mm-hmm.
And okay.
Also, there's something on fire inside the house. We never know what exactly it is. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of clear stuff that doesn't make sense. So this is the highest grossing films of 1992. Notice, by the way, other movies that are done very well are in this.
Only
Wayne's World.
Okay, Wayne's World, Home Alone 2, which was...
I would say Home Alone 2 is, I mean, that's a different category. It's a kid's movie.
I would agree, but none of the rest are done. I mean...
But Wayne's World, if we're holding up movies that year, Wayne's World's blown it out of the water. As far as the kind of thing that it's the same sort of movie genre.
I would agree
that Encino Man is attempting to do.
It's also the number 10 on this list of 1 to 10.
Right.
So like Aladdin was number 1, The Bodyguard was number 2.
I didn't know that there was an events category. Can we see what else was going on in May of 1992? Oh, never mind. Production begins on Jurassic Park.
I mean,
the end. I'm done. But anyway, okay, so this movie, there's plenty of scenes like there's montages and there's these scenes where these gigantic messes are getting created and all of a sudden we're supposed to be like, wow, it's a mess, how funny.
Yeah.
It segues to a present-day Los Angeles with an earthquake that wakes. We just saw that earthquake. He hanging out with his best friend Stoney, who's Pauly Shore, just playing the weasel in full Pauly mode.
He's great.
He's in love with a hot girl named Robin.
Yep.
Total babage.
Total babage.
And here's the other problem is a lot of this movie is predicated on, like I said, Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser showing up to do what they're supposed to do, which is Pauly Shore saying weird polyisms, buddy, and Brendan Fraser doing a lot of fun, wacky physical comedy.
Sure.
So that
executed well.
It's executed well, but that's not enough to balance out that you're not giving anything to the other characters to actually do.
Correct.
So Sean Astin is, his grand moment of the movie, the jiffable moment that everybody shows up with, is him trying to wave at Robin, and then it's not even his moment because Michael DeLuise shows up and shakes his head, and then Sean Astin just has to look sad. Now, granted, Sean Astin is doing a great job in that scene. He looks sad. He looks like he has hope, and then it all gets stripped away. You can sense that. But it's not enough.
It's not enough. You give your main character, like, nothing. Like, you give him nothing. You give him nothing to make him, like, a three-dimensional character that we give a crap about.
Mm-hmm. You can say shit.
I wasn't sure.
Aw, you're allowed. But we have... A lot of this movie is focusing on, ostensibly, it's supposed to be Sean Astin's movie, right?
It is.
He's the main character. He's a protagonist who, he's not the title character of the movie, but we follow him in his journey from being a geek, I guess, quote unquote, into being somebody who's cool and popular.
Right.
And we don't really get a whole lot of him actually growing on that journey.
It's a very common movie theme. I mean, like, we've seen lots of films where it's like the geek who wants to be cool, something happens, inciting incident, and they become cool. For some reason, it's unfulfilling, and they want to go back to being... That's like a very common thing.
Right.
So I feel like what I would like to say to the writers of this film is like, why didn't you just follow that formula the way it should have been followed, and this could have been salvaged?
There's a question that I would like to ask, and I feel like, you have... You care about the people in this movie. You care about the actors.
I do.
If you were to do a remake of Encino Man...
I would never, but okay.
If you had to take the script and you were called in to be the script doctor for this, what would you do to fix Encino Man? How would you make this movie a movie that you could at least, if not enjoy, maybe enjoy is too strong of an emotion that you can get to, but maybe to tolerate it? If you can think it's also a fun, stupid time at the movies like I am able to see, what would have to change for you?
A lot. Some of the jokes, and I understand that it's like the comedy of the times, and I get that that's how comedy. I don't know, man. There's just so many holes that need to be filled. There's just like so many plot holes, and it's like I would want to just like lay out the story structure and be like, "There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole." Like, let's find a way to fix that, and by fix I mean just let's rewrite the whole thing.
You know, there's a whole. It also doesn't help that part of the plot is literally revolving around a hole that's being dug in the backyard.
Oh my God.
It's a literal plot hole.
It's a literal plot hole.
And the pool gets filled up at the end, but it's just a big mud puddle.
It's a big mud. It doesn't get explained, really.
None of it gets explained.
Nope.
None of the actual party stuff gets explained. They literally leave from the backyard to go to prom, and all of a sudden they come back and they have this crazy party set up, and there's music and there's people jumping into the pool. None of it makes any sense.
It doesn't. And sometimes I think that like this is something I have to work on, like as a person, but like also as a person in comedy, is like I have to let myself go with these kinds of films because this is a genre of films, like this like stupid dumb comedy. So part of me is like, Elyssa, let go and sit back and relax and let it happen to you, and don't be looking for like the logical solution, and don't be looking for the answers to questions. Just let it happen. But for whatever reason, and this is just like how I'm wired, like it's hard for me to not look at the logic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Because
that being said, I love Lucy, but I feel like her hijinks have a justification.
that's the thing. It's hard to look at this movie and think about it from a logical standpoint because it doesn't even follow its own logic of the world that this movie exists in.
Yeah.
It's just we live in Crazy Town the whole time.
Yeah.
Crazy Town Encino.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes sense from one scene to the next, to the next, to the next. There's no real continuity in the way people behave or the way that the world works. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
And it pulls me out as an audience. And maybe it doesn't to like an 18-year-old kid living in Rancho Cucamonga. But like for me, it pulled me out. Not that there's anything wrong with Rancho Cucamonga.
Not at all, Rancho. But this is the other thing too. If we're going back to other dumb movies that are stupid movies done well, stupid comedy done well.
Sure.
Look at the one, I know Dumb and Dumber's real high up for you. The one that's even more fresh in my mind, which you also both mentioned, was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So those movies both have a logic and world that they have built, and everything that's happening in those at least makes sense.
Yes, it's justified. So like the story sort of, it makes sense because it follows the logic of the world. So you're never like left questioning anything or wondering about things because it all makes sense given the circumstances you've been told as an audience. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man.
Well, like in Bill and Ted, right? Early on, we have, we see Bill and Ted hanging out, and then we have the drama of they might get split up because Bill might get sent to military school. Yeah. And they have this report that they have to do. And then all of a sudden, our boy George Carlin, I forget his character's name, forgive me, but he shows up in the phone booth. Rufus, thank you.
Wow, your memory is on point.
So he shows up, Rufus shows up in the phone booth, and he exposition dumps about what the phone booth does. And says that this is what we need in order to save the world.
Which right there justifies everything that happens because it's already been said.
Right. And so from that point on, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Because the entire world has been justified. And so even when you have scenes later on in that movie with wacky antics like historical characters at the mall wreaking havoc, it makes sense.
Yes.
Because even though it's chaotic and stupid and silly, it has been laid, the groundwork has been laid for that kind of a scene to happen.
I agree.
As opposed to in Encino Man, when The only thing that happens is like, oh, well, we have to figure out how to be cool. There's a caveman. That means we're going to be cool. And then the whole rest of the movie is just wacky set piece after wacky set piece, trying to show that the caveman I mean, per the Wikipedia plot, the caveman teaches them about life.
Per the Wikipedia plot. That's great. Also, per the Wikipedia plot should be the name of your next show.
Thank you.
Because why do we all going to Wikipedia for plot is like a thing in and of itself.
That's the Patreon only show
That's great.
For Blockbusting.
I like that.
So, and this is, there's a lot of set pieces in this movie. The most classic one, I think, is one that I'd like to watch now. We haven't watched it yet, but it's the wheezing the juice scene.
Great.
Which first, we have this scene. I also thought that there's a little clip of it in the trailer. I for sure thought that the guy who's bald with the graying beard, for a split second, I thought that was Fred Melamed from Lady Dynamite and A Serious Man.
That's so funny.
I was like, was he slumming it in this movie, working his character actor chops? And no, it wasn't. It was a different guy.
Yeah, that's funny.
But
I could see why you would think that.
I was like, I mean, they look very alike. All right, let's watch. This is, all-time classic of actual dumb set piece scenes.
Oh my God, the product placement.
I see, bro. This is what put this place on the map. Oh.
What are you doing, Mrs. Stoney? No, you can't do this. You can't do this here.
Leave now. We must leave now, please.
Look, Kashmir, Rajneesh, why don't you just chill?
No, but still.
Link and I are cruising the mountain, bro, and we figure we's a little juice.
No,
Oh, man.
in the juice.
Oh my God.
There's no wheezing the juice.
Oh my God.
Chill, bud.
No, but chill.
I do like the fact that he gets
He gets brain freeze.
I thought that was a nice detail.
I'll be back.
Yep. Classic.
Classic.
Do we know if he's seen Terminator?
He does.
No.
Yes.
Oh, does he? Has
Yes.
he seen that? I must have zoned out. during that part.
Earlier, when he figures out television, it's one of the clips that comes up, and because Brendan Fraser only knows how to repeat things that he hears, that's why he says it. So that is justified.
A lot of product placement in that scene.
Way
I feel
too
like
much.
that scene covered the budget of a lot of this
I was just
movie.
gonna say the product placement in this film took care of the budget.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But this movie, I mean, Encino Man, it's if you're having a hard time during the apocalypse, which we're currently living through, I think.
This is what you want people to watch to help them?
I would say people who might be willing to let some stuff slide, like logic and good plot, watch Encino Man. But if they can't, if they're a little bit more, what's the best word for it? Sensible,
Yeah.
and care about things like logic
If
in
they
their
have
comedy,
blood
and they
running through their
yes.
veins.
If they're a normal comedy type of person, what would you recommend people watch? Anything, maybe like a recent favorite or something you've seen that is
Anything
like an
other than
all-time-
Encino Man.
Anything other than Encino Man is very broad. What do you think people should watch? What's one of your favorite comedy movies that is a great time for
man.
right now?
Oh God, I don't know. Yes, I do. Whenever I'm sad or depressed or I don't get that. But if I need to watch a movie to pick me up, I watch Birdcage.
I've never seen The Birdcage.
That movie will, no matter what, put me in a good mood.
That's another movie from the early 90s, right?
I would
think.
I would think so.
Birdcage, I think it was.
So Nathan Lane and Robin Williams, also another great ensemble cast.
1996, so
Yeah, a little
like
bit
mid
later.
to late 90s.
But,
I've seen La Cage aux Folles. I've seen the live
Sure.
musical version with Kelsey Grammer.
As have I. I didn't see it with Kelsey Grammer. But
He was
that's
great in it. But the Birdcage, very fun. I'll have
Really,
to check it out.
really fun movie. Just and like one you can like sit back and like let happen to you, and you don't have to think much, but it's just very enjoyable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, go check that out.
Go check out Birdcage.
But you know what else you should check out? Like we said at the top of the show, the PAX various live streaming events happening now nightly.
Yeah. I guess the best place will be Twitch, which is twitch.tv/PAC Theater. But yeah, So
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on,
Thanks
Elyssa.
for having me. That was a lot of fun.
I'm glad to have you. Finally,
It's also good for me to get angry.
We need
healthy.
to feel our emotions. Let's embrace them.
It's healthy.
If people want to follow you and not just pack related things, where can they find you on the socials?
Yeah, I'm usually on the Instas. So Elyssa MP, Elyssa MP.
Cool.
Is me, but I am
she.
basically the pack.
She had the heart and soul.
I don't know about that.
Blood running through the veins.
I mean, there's something. Something's running through somewhere.
You can find me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram. Well, I would say for show dates, but there's no shows anymore.
There's no shows right now.
So
unless you do a show for the pack, you're gonna be.
We're gonna be doing it. So keep your eyes. I'm gonna be posting about stuff that I'm gonna be doing during this this lockdown time. I'll post stuff on there, and I would implore you right now more than ever, support the comedians in places that you like. Obviously, Venmo at Pack-Theater for the Pack. I have a Patreon for this show. You can subscribe to that. I just updated the levels for quarantine times, so check that out. I've got a video that'll explain more about that, and some stuff about that I'll talk about at the top of the show. But anyway, Elyssa, thank you so much for coming on. This has been Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna not lick this mic.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
That's usually our tradition at the end of this show, but we'll let it slide just this once.